Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guide 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition of Daughters of Darkness. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guide 365. Okay, Daughters of Darkness is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Blue Underground, and it comes in a slipcover edition available at all your online retailers. Now, as far as the movie itself, this is a movie I saw, I would say, literally decades ago. In fact, I don't even remember which format I saw it on. It might have been cable, it might have been an old VHS copy, but I do have just some memories of the movie itself. And rewatching it again many years later, it's interesting. It has a take on the vampire lore and just that whole genre, but it kind of, does a little bit more with social commentary at the time. And some of those social commentary aspects are a little bit more relevant today than I would even argue back in the early 70s when the movie was made. I enjoyed it. It's very much a character-driven piece. There isn't a whole lot of action moments here, and it does kind of backplay the whole vampire lore aspect of it, and it just more focusing on the drama of the characters. And I would say the last, 20-30 minutes, it kind of makes up for that. But if you're going in expecting a hardcore vampire movie, you might be disappointed. There isn't a whole lot of gore or anything like that. And a lot of it is alluded to rather than, directly shown. But it's still very enjoyable. I think the performances are really good, and the movie does have a lot to say. And it has a good atmosphere, too. I really enjoy the actors and actresses in this one. I think in all their respective roles, they did a great job. It's something you should definitely check out if you're a fan of a good, meaty drama with some vampire aspects to it and that whole thing. All right, we're going to talk about the picture quality and audio in just a moment, but first, let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, we have the 4K Ultra HD slipcover edition of Daughters of Darkness from Blue Underground, and it has a lenticular cover, which is always nice. I like the ones that Blue Underground does. Really cool image. And then we have the back and the spine. And the same artwork. And then interior, we have a booklet. Talks a little bit about the movie. And then we have artwork on the discs. Overall looks cool. And then we have the original poster art. I kind of like the new cover a little bit more, but it's always there. Overall, very nice presentation. Highly recommend it with the packaging. Now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Daughters of Darkness on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 1:6:7:1 aspect ratio, native 4K resolution, and HDR10 and Dolby Vision for the grading. For purposes of this review, I will be talking about the Dolby Vision encode. Considering the age of the movie, the overall print that was produced here for this 4K release actually looks really good. It doesn't have any kind of blemishes or scratch marks or anything like that. They did a great job cleaning up the source material, and it comes across very well in this 4K disc. There is a nice layer of film grain that is present throughout the movie. I only felt that it got a little bit heavy a couple scenes in the back half of the film, but for the most part, it's fairly consistent and it's good, organic, and it has a nice cinematic feel to it. As for the Dolby Vision grading, I feel it does a subtle but noticeable enhancement on the overall picture quality. The color palette, for instance, it's a little bit more subdued in that area, except for the Countess with her red outfit and lipstick. They're bright and they're vivid, but other elements, they look good, natural, but it's not going to be anything eye-popping. Black levels, I feel, are rendered well. They're not quite deep and inky. There's only a few scenes where I felt they looked that way, but for the most part, I feel they're average, and I think for the age of the film, it's kind of appropriate, and it looks good here on 4K. Level of detail, I think, is one of the strongest beneficiaries. There's just such a good texture to skin and clothing. The architecture of the hotel come across very well in this regard, and overall enhancement with 4K resolution, I think it has a wonderful presence. Daughters of Darkness on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a Dolby Atmos audio presentation. It also does contain the original 1.0 audio mix, so for you purists out there that like to enjoy that track, it is available for your convenience. I did a quick A and B comparison from the Atmos and the 1.0. Considering the movie's very front heavy as far as the soundtrack goes, the 1.0 is really good, so you'll definitely enjoy it if you like that kind of mix. Now for the Dolby Atmos, this is not going to be the most immersive audio experience you've heard. It's not that kind of a movie for one, and also the age of the film, you can only filter so much activity in the other speakers, but what it is there, I think it's a very valuable upgrade. Activity through the center channel is rendered clean and clear, no issues to report. Even some of the more overdubbed dialogue comes across very well and natural. The front channels sound good. It's pretty seamless and it complements the center channel fairly well. There's activity there, but it's not going to be very heavy-handed. And the mid-level and rear speakers, you're not getting a whole lot here. There's not a lot of atmosphere to be had. It does creep in from time to time, but it's not very consistent. What really shines is the score. The musical score really plays a part in the entire surround sound environment, and I think it does a good job pulling you into the film. Same can be said for the height speakers. There's a little bit of minimal activity, but it's not going to be, I would say, constant. But once again, the score really benefits here. And the LFE channel, it's very, very subtle. It's not heavy-handed whatsoever. It does pop on from time to time. It's not going to be anything you really would be, I would consider demo-worthy, but it still makes itself known, but just not fairly frequently. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Daughters of Darkness on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a solid A. Blue Underground did a great job with this 4K presentation. The print looks great, free of any blemishes. The grain structure is intact very well, and the Dolby Vision grading is subtle but very noticeable. I think you'll absolutely enjoy the picture quality here on this 4K disc. For the audio presentation, I'm going to give this one a B. While Dolby Atmos is a welcome upgrade on any 4K disc, those expecting a room-filling experience may be a bit disappointed, but it does get a lot of things right. The center and front channels have a lot of activity there, it sounds clean, and what immersive elements we do get from the surround sound environment are really relegated to musical and a couple of atmospheric elements. But for the most part, it's clean, it sounds good, and it's a nice upgrade on the 4K disc. So that is my review of Daughters of Darkness on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking this up for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comment section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have it already, I want to hear your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.